Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back. It is Friday morning, January 6th, and it is the very first day of my Master Gardeners training program. I am so excited. I feel like it is the first day of school. I have a brand new blank notebook ready to fill out. I have my textbook that I've already read the first chapter. That was the first assignment. I have my water bottle. I have my snacks. I am ready. So I'm going to keep you all updated on this whole training experience. I just wanted to, check in right before I head inside. It's about 8:57 right now, and they say do not be late. So I gotta go. All right, wish me luck. Hi everyone. All right, it is later that same afternoon. I made it through my first day of training for my Master Gardeners program. It went so well. I can't even tell you guys. It is like the perfect program for me to be in at this time. I walked in and there was a bunch of people there, and you could just tell they were all like-minded people just like myself. People obsessed with gardening. So I do have to say it is currently not raining right now, which is absolutely crazy. So I wanted to come outside and I wanted to get some fresh air. But look, first of all, look at my purple hyacinth beans. They are done. They are at the end of their life, but look at what a mess my backyard is. I mean, because it's been flooded. My backyard has actually been flooding from all the rain. So I'm not even going to worry about it right now, but it is definitely going to be cleanup time once this rain passes. We still have another 10 days at least of rain on the forecast. So I'm not even going to worry about it right now. Anyway, so I just wanted to come out here and get some fresh air while I was talking to you guys about how the first day of training went. This is day 1 of 16. There are 16 weeks, and I think what my plan is that I will record a video after every training class and then post it the next Monday, so Master Gardeners Mondays, and let you guys know how the program went, kind of what we talked about, what I learned, how the experience has been for me. So today, the first day, was mostly an introduction class. It was like my program coordinator, her name is Jennifer. She was there and she was just talking all about the program, the history of the Master Gardeners program, the mission statement of the program, what they expect from us as volunteers, what they're going to provide to us. All of us volunteers get mentors. And so the mentors are, certified Master Gardeners who have already been through the program, and they're there to help us. So we learned who our mentors were going to be. And they're basically somebody that we can call and we can ask any question. We can ask them to go to volunteer things with us if we don't feel comfortable. They're basically our big sister or our big brother, which is so fantastic. And I do have to say, every Master Gardener that was there, that I was talking to, they were so welcoming and so supportive and so, so willing to help out, it was just so cool to see. It was just so amazing. And I can just see how welcoming this program is going to be to all the volunteers, and then how we can go out to the community and share all the knowledge that we've learned, and keep spreading the word, which is the purpose of the Master Gardener program. So the first thing we talked about was a little bit of the history of the Master Gardeners program, which I'm not going to bore you all with the history, but it was there was a couple things that I thought were very interesting. First of all, the story of the Master Gardeners program actually dates back to Abraham Lincoln times, when Abraham Lincoln was president, and there was a bunch of people, of Americans out there gardening, but they were all uneducated. None of them went to school. None of them knew what they were doing. So what the government did is they put together, they sponsored programs and basically sent people out on wagons to these private farms where they taught these amateur farmers how to do things the right way and how to succeed as farmers. And that was such a successful program, and it was so helpful for the American people that it continued on for years and years and years. And I just thought that story was really neat. It was really, really cool. So then, 100-something years later, at Washington State University, there was a couple doctors there. I don't remember their names. I'll see if I can find it and put it down here. But they were basically got to be known publicly as professional gardeners, master gardeners themselves, but it wasn't master gardeners yet. And so I guess they were getting so many phone calls and so many letters and so many questions from the public that they couldn't respond to everybody. They were spending all their time responding to the public. So what they decided to do is they decided to train volunteers so that the volunteers could answer the public's question. And so the public could get what they needed. They needed gardening help, but it wasn't the doctors, the professors that were doing all the work. It was the volunteers. And that's how the Master Gardeners program got started. So it started up in Washington State, and then California, where I'm at, we basically copied their program. And that's how the California program came to pass. So during the first day, they really focused on showing us how to find information. So the goal of the Master Gardeners program isn't for us to be masters. We aren't expected to know absolutely everything about gardening and be able to answer every single question off the top of our heads. The goal of this is to teach us how to find research-based information, scientific information that we can provide to the community. We need to know how to look it up and how to provide the right type of information, not anecdotal information, but actually scientific-based and research-based. So that was a big focus, is just showing us where we could look it up, the different sites, and then also textbooks that they really thought were really worth it, were worth their weight. And so I don't have a list of all the textbooks, but I do have 2 that I wrote down, because I'm actually, as soon as I stop filming this, I'm going to go in and I'm going to order them myself, because I was flipping through them and I thought, okay, I need this book in my collection. So the first one was by the American Horticulture Society, and it was Pruning and Training by Christopher Brickle and David Joyce. And so this one is the program coordinator, Jennifer. She was talking about how it helps you remember, you can look up how to prune and how to train basically every single plant in your garden. So if you can't remember how to prune a limelight hydrangea, or if you can't remember how to train a bougainvillea, you can look it up in this book, and it has apparently really good scientific research-based information. You'll hear me say that a lot because they said it a lot in the class. The other book that I was really interested in is kind of more for the West Coast, hotter climates, but that's where I'm at, and it's Plants and Landscapes for Summer Dry Climates. I mean, perfect, right? Perfect for me. And it's actually by the East Bay Municipal Utilities District, which I thought was kind of funny. But it does make sense if a utilities district is trying to get people to conserve water. They want to plant their gardens with drought-tolerant plants. And that was actually one of my goals this year. I didn't do a video on my goals, or did I? No, I didn't do a video on my goals, but I did an Instagram post on my gardening goals this year. And one of them was to focus on more drought and heat tolerant plants, just because we all know that the heat is going to be getting worse and worse. I was reading an article about how, I can't remember if it was El Nino or El Nina, but basically we're going into an El Nino phase or an El Nina phase, whichever one, which indicates we will get hotter summers. And last summer was the hottest summer on record. And so that just means that this summer is probably going to be even hotter. So I know that I have to start adjusting my garden to heat tolerant and drought tolerant plants, just to make it worth my while, so that these plants don't fry in the summer. So that book was, it was like, I got to get my hands on that, because that is definitely one of my gardening goals this year. So the other thing we talked a lot about was our volunteer hours and our continuing education hours. And I just have to say to you guys, the reason why I'm telling you all this is, just in case you're interested in the Master Gardeners program yourself. I had a lot of trouble finding information about the program and what the program entailed. And at the time I was working full time, so I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it. I didn't even have the information. So these numbers that I'm giving it to you, they're probably going to be different for every county or every state or anything like that, but at least you can get an idea of what the Master Gardeners program entails. So as volunteers, we're going through 16 weeks of 4-hour classes, 16 weeks of 4-hour classes, and that's just our training. And then we also have to do 50 hours of volunteer work, which is educating the public, right? It's not actually, it's not so much like gardening, like volunteering your time gardening. It's really focusing on educating the public and teaching the public something. So however you want to do that, farmers market, or the Master Gardeners hotline, or there's presentations you can do. I'll tell you guys what I'm thinking about doing in a little bit. But that's 50 hours for the first year, and then after the first year, it's like 25 hours per per year to keep up your Master Gardener's certification. Then in addition to that, you have continuing education, which is where you're learning. So you can watch presentations or go to classes or, go to like Annie's Annuals. There's a really big nursery around here, garden center around here, and they have classes all the time. And Master Gardeners recognizes Annie's Annuals as really good, so that would count as your continuing education if you went to one of those classes. So things like that I feel like we all, like if you're watching this video, a gardening video, you're probably doing all of that anyway with the continuing education. So I feel like that's just moot. I'm going to get my continuing ed hours, no problem. As for the volunteer hours, what my plan is, I have had some people ask me what my plan is for the volunteer hours. And what my plan is this. So I am planning to use my video skills, my editing skills, my social media skills to help spread the word and educate the public on the Master Gardeners program. That is what I talked about in my interview, and they were really excited about that because, their goal is public outreach. Their goal is to let the public know that the Master Gardeners are there to answer their questions and help them and teach them things. But if they're not using the resources that the public uses, the information is never going to get to the public. So not throwing shade on anybody, but, at least my county, my program, they are very newspaper dependent at this point. They're even radio dependent at this point. They have newsletters and they have a website, and that's pretty much what they use for outreach, mass outreach. And then obviously they have the farmers market and the hotline and all that kind of stuff, which is fantastic. But you all know these days we get our information from YouTube. We get our information from Instagram, from Facebook, things like that. So it's definitely time that the Master Gardeners program starts expanding to those different avenues of spreading the word. And, if you don't know how to do something like that, if you don't know how to edit a YouTube video, it's really, really difficult. It's a difficult thing to learn. I know, because I learned it myself. So I want to bring that skill that I have to the Master Gardeners program. So they were, the proctors were there today at the meeting, and the proctors are people that are going to be teaching us the classes, the 15 more classes. Each class is going to be taught by a different proctor, and that's what they specialize in. Like next week is Intro to Soil Science. So the person who's going to teach the class specializes in soil science. There was another woman there who seemed super interesting. She actually lives in Davis, and she's teaching the weed class, and she knows everything about weeds and identifying weeds and all this kind of stuff. And so the other one that they were talking about, there's a woman who is I'm going to say this wrong. It's like a rosologist. She specializes in roses. And I immediately thought I need to get her on camera so that she can do a rose pruning video for the Master Gardeners program, right? And so I'm going to email her as soon as I'm done here and I buy my books. Then I'm going to email her and I'm going to talk to her about going to film her at the community rose garden that we have in Woodland, the town just close to me, and see if she can do a video, see if she'd be willing to do a video on rose pruning. And then what I can do is I can start a YouTube channel for the Master Gardeners, and I can post that video there. So that's me using my skills, educating the public, through people that are a little bit have more expertise than I do, but eventually I'll get that kind of expertise, I think. So anyway, all in all, the first day of the Master Gardeners program was fantastic. It is everything I expected and more, everything I hoped it would be. I can't tell you guys, it was so fun to be in a room full of like-minded people like myself. We had a couple breaks, so all of us got to talk. I was talking to a woman next to me, and she was telling me that she just loves learning, and she's taken all these horticulture classes and gone to all these events where she learned about different gardening stuff, and she was like this super, super intelligent woman. You could just tell she knew so much, and you could tell how hungry she was for information on gardening. So it was really, really fun. Then the other thing, we were drinking coffee and I was talking to two other women about pollinator gardens, and there was this one woman who said she has a pollinator garden, and I said, "Oh, that's great. I planted up some planters, some stock tanks as a pollinator garden, but my milkweed's not doing very well. It died on me." Both women were like, "Oh, that's what it's supposed to do during the winter. Don't pull it out; it'll come back." And it's like, I didn't know that. I had no idea that milkweed looks like it's totally dead during the winter and then it comes back. So already day one, I learned things from, you know, my colleagues, from the people that are around me, which I think it's just great. It's just really exciting. You never stop learning, you know, as soon as, what's that phrase? As soon as you feel like you've learned everything, then that's when your life ends. You know what I mean? So I'm super excited. I feel like I'm going to learn so much of this program. I am planning to take you guys along every single week. Again, my classes are on Friday, so the video of the recap of my Master Gardener's training class I'll post it the next Monday, so you guys can kind of follow through with me with my program, 16 weeks, and then May of this year, 2023. Hopefully, if I pass my test, I will be a Master Gardener. So I hope this was interesting to you all. If any of you are interested in becoming a Master Gardener and going through the training program, don't hesitate to contact me. You can email me or put it in the comment section down below, or Instagram. That's probably the easiest way to get a hold of me. But ask me questions, whatever you have to ask. I'll try and answer them the best I can. I can always ask my program coordinator if she can help us answer the questions. But so far, so good. So far, I'm super excited about the class, and I think it is a perfect match. All right, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this. I think I'm going to go put my gardening clothes on and try and plant some bulbs, because, oh my goodness, it's not raining. I actually see a couple pieces of blue sky. So I think I'll go do some gardening right now while I still have light. And I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.